We're looking ahead to the summer. Something big happening. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is just months away. This one, right here at home in North America, hosted by the USA, Canada, and Mexico. The world's biggest sporting event has been years in the making, and in some cases, the growing, including the turfgrass needed for multiple stadiums over a variety of different climates. Michigan State University has partnered with FIFA to install and prepare the World Cup's top-tier playing surfaces. They've been a leader in turfgrass development since the 1960s, including the 1994 World Cup, in which they developed the system that made turfgrass portable. It's a big deal. So here to talk about this process is renowned expert in turfgrass science, Professor Trey Rogers from MSU's Turfgrass Research Program. Trey, it's wonderful to have you. This is your second go-around handling turf for a World Cup on our home turf. So how has the process and the science behind it progressed since the last World Cup?
Well, a lot of technology has increased dramatically. I mean, it doesn't matter if we're talking about lights or the grasses themselves or vacuum ventilation, everything to try to basically make things a little bit easier and not as dependent upon Mother Nature, so to speak. And so to really work around any of these extremes that I've been listening to for the last few minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're trying to eliminate some of those crazy variables. Is there anything special about the turf being prepared for this World Cup that sets it apart from what would be considered a normal turf system?
We're going to grow our turf on sod farms across the North America and on what's called sod on plastic, meaning that when we harvest this sod, we'll be harvesting a complete plant. We're not going to take the we're not going to shear the roots when we harvest like you would do on your front yard or something like that. And you can see that in the background. That's basically sod on plastic. So that when that's laid down, that plant is in full function, thriving mode. And that's important for us because as soon as we put a lot of these fields together, we're going to be playing on them.
Yeah.
And so this is very important, particularly in our dome stadiums.
Yeah, FIFA has some pretty high turf standards. It's a tough client, understandably so. These are some of the best athletes in the world. So how do you test it once it's installed? You said that this is going to be healthy grass on delivery, but how do you test it once the pitch is built?
Well, we're very confident about our results, mainly because FIFA has required evidence-based results. And you know, this is not just a Michigan State project. This project is also with partners with the University of Tennessee. And so between the two schools, we have studied about every angle that you can study. We also had a nice year last year doing a practice runs with the Club World Cup. So we're very confident in what we're putting together, and we're very confident in what we are advising FIFA on. And again, it's evidence-based research. So they've come to our centers and seen it. They've watched us put it into play for the Club World Cup last year and even exhibition games before that. So nothing's being left to chance.
So before we let you go, I have to ask you, are you a soccer guy? And throw out the scientist. As a person, is it pretty special to watch an event on the world stage knowing that you played a big role in it?
Well, you know, like you said earlier, I was around. This was my very first project when I started at Michigan State back in 1994. So I'm the one guy that involved in all this that can simply say, sit back and enjoy this, because this is really going to be something you remember the rest of your life. And even now, it's 32 years later, and I remember things like it was yesterday. So I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, we're all going to enjoy it, right? Looking forward to it, and it's amazing work that you guys have done over the decades, getting ready to bring this elite turf to different stadiums, different climates all across the country. That's Trey Rogers, Professor of Turfgrass Research at Michigan State. Thanks for telling us about it on Fox Weather.
You're very welcome, Ian.